Hi everyone. I am super excited for tonight's coffee and conversation. I met this person over social media thanks to the Miss America organization, and I'm really excited for you to meet her. I think we have a lot of similarities in common, and I'm absolutely thrilled for you to hear her story. I got the chance to speak with her a little bit before this, and so we're going to be talking a lot about her. Her name's Shannon Hopkins, and we're going to be talking about her project, her social impact initiative that she's been working on as a title holder within the Miss America organization called Acceptable Me, talking about standing together to break down stereotypes. So I'm going to leave a couple of minutes for people to join in. Hello. Welcome. And once Shannon gets here, we'll get the party started. Also, before I get ahead of myself, if you have any questions for Shannon or for me while we go through this coffee and convo, feel free to drop them in the comment box down below or the little question mark box. Feel free to drop it in there as well. Let's see, how do I invite people? They updated Instagram Live, and so thank you. Hi, Miranda. They updated Instagram Live, and now there's a whole bunch more buttons that I didn't know about, so I am trying to still figure it out. Okay, well, I am super excited for Shannon to get here. So when she does get here, I am hoping that all of you drop some questions for her because she is a first-year title holder within the Miss America organization. And this is going to be a great chance for both of us to practice our skills for our respective state competitions. So please feel free to drop some questions. I know that Shannon has been working really hard on her social impact initiative project. And I really just want to brag about her, but she's not here yet, so I'll wait until she gets here and then I'll just totally gas her up. There she is. Okay, let's see if I can get her to join. Shannon, I see you. Just click the request to be in this live. I will admit, I'm not drinking coffee today because it's 5 o'clock my time, and so I'm drinking a very large bucket of water. Oh. Maybe? There you are! Hello!
Hi!
How are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Good. Are you wearing yellow and black?
Yeah.
So am I.
That's a torch shirt. Look at me.
I love that. We're wearing like inverse colors. I love that so much. How's your day been?
It's been pretty good. Been busy at work.
Yeah? What do you do for work?
I work at an eye doctor, so I ordering a lot of contacts, just dealing with a lot of check-in, check-out, insurances.
Right.
A lot of different things. Man, I look horrible. I'm not wearing any makeup.
No, you don't look horrible. You look lovely. And I'm really excited for you to be here to talk today. So I kind of started giving your bio already before you got here because I was just super excited. So can you introduce yourself for the handful of people who are listening and kind of tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're at, and what you do to make the world a better place?
Yeah, so my name is Shannon Hopkins. I'm from the great state of Maine, very rural state, but if you've ever been here, it's beautiful. I grew up in a small town with my grandparents, so I have a very kind heart, all about the elder. And then, yeah, so, sorry, I get so nervous.
No, don't be nervous. It's just a conversation.
So I grew up in Camden and I went to college at Southern Maine Community College. And then my social impact initiative for competing for Miss Maine is Acceptable Me, which is all about standing together to break stereotypes against body weight, body diversity, and diet culture in today's society.
I love that so much. And I really want to dive into why you chose that and what you're doing. But first, I want to go ahead and pin a comment. So how can people, while they're watching this and they want to connect with you, what's the best way for them to contact with you? And I'll put it in this little comment here.
Yeah, so the best way is either on my Facebook page, which is Acceptable Me. It's all one word if you type it. It should pop right up, or on Instagram, which is Shannon Hopkins Official.
Okay. I type kind of slow on this. Hopkins Official. Okay. So here are the ways that you can connect with our guest Shannon today on both acceptable. I spelled acceptable wrong. I'm sorry. When you read this, acceptable. Well, everybody makes mistakes. It's fine.
I don't know if you can change it. I don't know. I don't know much about like the Instagram lives.
And they just updated it. That was something that I noticed too. And so I finally got used to all the buttons. And then they changed the buttons. So, all right, here, I think I'm fixing it. Maybe. Thank you everyone for pausing while we experience some word difficulties.
And thank you for the hearts, the likes.
Yes, and if anyone has any questions, feel free to drop them in the comment section so that Shannon can answer all the questions you have, and we can answer. I won't make you answer all the questions. Now I'm extra nervous about spelling these all right. Acceptable Me, Shannon Hopkins Official. Okay, I think I did it right, and if I didn't do it right, please don't come for me. Okay, cool. So Shannon, we got to talk a little bit on your live last week and kind of got to chat. And so I know a little bit about you, but I'm going to be asking you questions so that the rest of the audience who maybe didn't tune in gets to know more about you and what you do. So when you were on that live, you were announcing something pretty cool, some merchandise and things. So will you kind of tell a little bit about actually, I want to hear about your event that you have planned and the merchandise that goes along with it.
Yeah, so for my social impact initiative, a way to really share about who I am, what I'm about, I've created body positivity photo shoots. I have 3 planned right now in the state of Maine. So far, since I released the announcements on Monday, I've already sold over $800 worth of tickets.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing!
Amazing, because all of the money, a small amount will be like a donation for the photographer that is giving up her time, because she wanted to do it for free, and I said no. I said, let's do a donation. I said, I'm gonna make something happen for you.
I love that.
And then the rest of it is going to go to the Miss America organization on behalf of me. So the way how it's going to go is on my Spot Fund page is I have everything going into, I think I created like a Venmo debit card account. So everything will go onto the Venmo. And then what I can do is I can go and take everything and I can send it all to the Spot Fund website through like that debit card.
Awesome.
So I've raised over $800. I have a lot of people that are still very interested. We have 3 different, give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. I have this light in my house and it's flickering. Let me turn that off.
That's okay. I totally get it. It has taken me quite some time for the audience at home who's still listening. That's actually my dog barking in the background. So accidents happen and things go on and the show must go on. So, you look great.
So with like I said, I had over 100 people that were interested in the event, which led to, due to like CDC guidelines, we can only host 1 event with so many people.
Right.
I currently have what do you call it? I have a place that has been donated for use, and it is absolutely gorgeous in the inside. Big windows, a lot to do with lighting, and I have a lot planned for the first event, which is going to be a very special event, because there can only be 40 girls. All of my upgrade packages, so the way how it's being marketed right now is that you have a basic package, and what that includes is group photos, which I'm going to be using one for my background slide at Miss Maine's about what my social impact initiative is.
Right.
And then,
Good idea.
yep, so you have the group photos, you'll have all access to all the edited photos for the group photos, which is quite a lot. We'll do 1 hour of group photos, and then the upgrade package, which I completely sold out of. I only had 10 available because of the time frames. And those will be one-on-one photos with the photographer that you can do edited photos with them. You can do poses. If you weren't comfortable in like a group as being more disposed and like lingerie or underwear, bra, whatever makes you comfortable, you can do that one-on-one with the photographer versus the group photo. I know a lot of people aren't as comfortable as being in like undergarments or anything like that with a group photo with a bunch of other people. So this would be more privately between them and the photographer. So I have that, and then the other two photo shoots are going to be hosted outside, and those are going to be more geared to like the one-on-one. Some really exciting things I have for the first one. I have like a autograph board that's going to be created. In the middle, it's going to say "Acceptable Me," and it says "Standing to Break Stereotypes Together." And then like over in this corner, you'll have something that says like "I am strong." Over on this corner, it will say "I'm bold." And then the two bottom corners, it will have a few other sayings like "I'm confident," "I'm beautiful." And girls can write whatever they want, as if like things that makes them feel good about doing the photo shoot, or if they just want to sign their name. It's really whatever makes them feel comfortable to be there.
Wow. So
I
awesome.
had a friend of mine that was like, I really want to come, but I'm very nervous. I don't know how I feel about this. And it was her daughter that wanted to come. And I said, it is for all ages. I said, I even offered to pick her up. I said, I'll pick her up. I'll bring her, whatever makes the event special for somebody.
Oh, I
So it's
love
going to
that.
be really good. So I'm so excited because, like I said, most of those proceeds are going to be going to the Miss America organization, creating scholarships for people in Maine, and going to college and growing up with my grandparents. I know that college was not always in my future, but by finding this organization that does provide scholarships so you can continue your education, it's wonderful. And
That's
then
so
I
great.
also I also have stickers that have been created. And then I also have t-shirts as well. So I do have some stickers here with me so everyone can see. I have this one's like a purplish pinkish, the
That
lighting.
one's my favorite.
Yes. So up here you have some ladies, all different sizes and colors. And then on the bottom it does say "Standing together to break stereotypes." It does have the logo of Maine, but just because it has Maine doesn't mean that it's significant to go elsewhere, because if I win Miss Maine, I am competing for Miss America, and this is something that I could bring worldwide. And then I also have the black one.
This one's cute too. Just kidding. I don't have a favorite. I like them. I like them
I know
all.
they're all. I've had many people since Monday when I released the stickers. I have sold over $200 worth of stickers,
That's
and
incredible.
and
So,
all
so
these
how can people get
proceeds.
a sticker?
Yeah, so with the stickers, the way how you can get one is you can message me and say, "Hey, I'm interested in a sticker." If you're local in Maine and you need a like delivery, if we personally know each other, I'll deliver it to you. Stickers are $5 each, but if you need it for mailing, it's going to be $5.75, just because I have to buy a whole roll of stamps and it's pretty pricey for that.
Right.
So all proceeds, because I bought all of the stickers and I created the logo, everything will be going right to the Miss America organization on behalf of me through my Spot Fund page. We also have the white one as well. A lot of people really like this one as well.
Yeah, I like that one. I think if I get a shirt, that's the one that I would get, like the white, because I like the mains filled in.
Yeah, so I also have t-shirts. Unfortunately, I don't have any to show on here. But if anyone's interested, I do have a Google form or a Google Doc that shows the pictures of them. Right now, due to trying to keep costs down and buying in bulk. The only colors that are available are pink and blue. And then we do have a unisex one because some people don't like the way how female shirts fit them or the sizing. And that one is just a gray. So if anyone is interested in those and you are local in the state of Maine, those would be $25. And for mailing, it's an additional $5. So $30 for a generic shirt. And with the event, everybody gets a t-shirt, they get a sticker, and you also get, access to the all-inclusive activities at the first event. And then through the second and third, you would still get a t-shirt and a sticker. But those ones will be a little bit cheaper because it's not as inclusive as the first one with the opportunities that I'm offering people through that first event. I don't want to expose everything, but
Right. So, one of the comments that we had is that fundraising is a challenge for a person who commented, and so one, they commend you, and two, I wanted to ask what kind of advice you have because this is your first year competing in the Miss America organization, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I wanted to kind of pick your brain on what advice you'd give to other Miss America title holders, or really any title holder who's wanting to raise funds or raise awareness for something. Just like some simple steps, like how you came up with your project and your fundraising event, how you connected with other people, those kinds of things. Just some general ideas. So can I pick your brain about that?
Yeah, so I mean, as a young girl, I'm sure everybody has had to go through this, but I've gone through where, I was big into band. I played saxophone for over 10 years. We had to sell candy bars. I had to go door to door to all the neighbors and say, hey, will you buy me a candy bar?
Right.
And then, I've had to sell magazines, Yankee Candle, popcorn, and everything. So I've grown with such a clientele to know everybody in my community. My family's very well known. And kind of, at work, I said, hey, would you donate to this? This is what I'm running for. This is my cause. This is what I believe in. And kind of took it from there. And then when I was kind of struggling, because I signed up very late to compete. I feel like I waited a year and a half to sign up to compete because I didn't feel like I'd fit in. I was like my body type. I said, nobody is going to want me representing the state of Maine. And so it took a very long time to say, hey, let's do this. Let's compete. So I came up with other ways to compete, to fundraise versus the spot fund fundraising. So I also am collecting bottles as well, which is a way that not many people would think about fundraising, but a lot of people here in Maine, they don't go to the Redemption Center. They just don't have time for it. So we have a program at our local grocery store, which is called Hannaford, and they run a Clink program. And Clink it's basically taking all of the cans and making it into reusable items like bags, shopping bags, everything like that. So it's really a go green project they've created. Right now I have over 100 bags of bottles to return in a garage. I've had a lot of people that say, hey, I've got bottles. If you want to come get them, get them. I went out on a rainy, snowy Sunday and I bagged up all these bags and I took over 100 bags back to the garage, and I still have more people that are messaging me saying, hey, I have bottles for your fund. Where's your donation site? Unfortunately, right now I don't have a donation site, but I like to keep it going through the Clink because the way how the Clink program works and everything it stands for, everything goes and sits in a giant account until you're ready to cash it out, or directly through there you can have them write a check to the fundraiser that interests you. So what I'm going to do is, once I have everything in there, right now currently I have $75 in that account, and that's just from bottles from my own house and from like my work that I've been raising.
Wow.
At work, everybody's been giving me their bottles. They bring them in, they go, hey, I got a bag of bottles for you, and I'm like, okay. So I've been trying to fundraise as much as possible through the stickers, the t-shirts. T-shirts I really never thought of, and then somebody said, hey, I'd like to buy a t-shirt if you have one made, and I was like, well, I'll check it out.
Yeah.
And so we have a local company in Rockport, Maine called Adventure Advertising, and I'm good friends with the owner, and they created a t-shirt for me at an affordable rate. Initially on the t-shirts, I'm only making $10 off the purchase. And then the mailing fee of the $5 goes directly to mailing. But the rest of like that $10 would be going to my Spot Fund page on behalf of me. So I would just say, really, for fundraising, is put yourself out there, think outside the box. A lot of people think that, fundraising is just, send a link out to everybody and hope they donate. I've
Right.
really thought outside of the box. I shared through like Facebook swap sells my page. I had a few people that had commented and said, oh, why are you fundraising for this? And I said, well, the money does not go to me. And I think a lot of people think that when you're raising for a Miss America organization, that the money goes directly to you. They don't realize that it goes on behalf of you to the organization to help provide scholarships to the winners and the runner-ups, etc. A lot of people just don't realize that. So I hope
Yeah.
that, by funding the bottles, collecting them, the stickers, the t-shirts, because like the stickers, I paid out of pocket to have those made. And those weren't cheap, but I have a friend that makes them, and he did it at a very affordable rate. And not only does it help support the good cause, but it also helps spread my message.
No kidding. I love that you mentioned a couple times that you're friends with someone or your family knows someone, or I think that's so important, being able to draw on your network and call up family friends and say, hey, I'd love to partner with you on this. And it doesn't always have to be an expense to you or an expense to them. It can be, you do something kind of tit for tat, and I think that's something that I love about the Miss America organization. It's really empowered me to think about thinking outside the box with fundraising or networking. Or I love the way that you said, we don't take the money, it goes into the scholarship fund, and a lot of people don't know that. And I love that you're kind of breaking down stereotypes within the Miss America organization too, not just thinking about body positivity, but thinking about business. Like, the Miss America organization is a business, and it's a scholarship fund, and there are ways that we can do it sustainably that doesn't involve just email chains of, hey, please donate. And I love that you're adding a value added fundraiser. Like, that's really what it is you're creating value for those donors, so they're not just throwing money with getting a good happy feeling for donating, which is really exciting most of the time, but it kind of adds something extra, because they may like, oh, well, if I get a t-shirt out of it, or if I get a really cute sticker out of it, I maybe donate more. And so I love that you've been thinking this way and bringing it into your position within the Miss America organization as Miss Knox County 2021. So
Awesome.
I want to actually talk to you about your title. And you said it took you a little while to sign up for a title. So you had a previous crown, right? Can you tell
Yes.
us a little bit about that title, and then kind of your journey into the Miss America organization? What brought you here?
Yeah. So technically speaking, 2019 to 2020, I was the Maine Wild Blueberry Queen. And so what that means, like, I've gone to events out of state, and I tell people that, and they're like, the Blueberry Queen, what is that? Or like I've gone, there's a place up in Bangor, which is, Maine's very small. We have Portland, we have our capital, which is Augusta, and we have Bangor. If it's anything else other than that, people don't know where it is.
Okay.
Even people think Portland is our capital. They're like, oh, Portland's your capital. And I'm like, no, it's not. or like they go, oh, that Portland? Oh, I think you meant Portland, Oregon. And I'm like, no, I meant Portland, Maine. So really, I ran for the Blueberry Queen, and the way how it was is the signups were, the fair is each August. And when I had signed up, I signed up in like July, I think. And they sent me an email. They were like, hey, we don't have any other girls that are signed up. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, did I win? I was like, wow. And they're like, no. They're like, if we don't have 5 girls that sign up, we can't keep the title, and that it would go to another fair that was in Maine that's big for blueberries. It's our competitor. Even though we're all through the fair system, it's competitive for the title. Because Maine, we have a strawberry queen, we have a potato queen. Because up in the boonies they have the potato fields.
Okay.
And we used to have an apple queen, but we no longer have an apple queen. And then we have strawberry queen. We have the lobster festival, which is the sea goddess, which Union Fair, which is the blueberry queen, and sea goddess, we're right beside each other. We work together. And then there is one other fair. Oh, the dairy queen. But the way how they do it is they do dairy princesses, and there's like 10 of them. Whoever competes, they sign up to be the dairy princess for the year, and they go to different events supporting like the milk industry. And then there is one other queen, but I don't remember who she is. She's from a fair up in the boondocks.
Okay.
So the way how I had done it, they were like, hey, we only have, you were the only one running. And I said, oh no. And they're like, yeah, they said, we're not going to have a pageant unless if we can get some more girls. So me gets on my Facebook. I said, hey, friend. I said, remember a few years ago when you competed for the Blueberry Queen? I said, oh, I'm competing this year. And I said, we need some more girls. So I got 2 of my very best friends to compete. And of course, I don't want to compete against my best friends because I don't want any hurt feelings or anything.
Right.
I mean, I'd be okay with it. But, you may have other friends that would be like, oh, you won or something.
Right.
So I had done that. And then we had, so I got like 3 of my girlfriends to compete. And I had my other friend reach out and find 2 other friends to compete. So we all competed. And so it was through a personal interview, public interview. You had to know blueberry knowledge, blueberry facts, such as that each year Maine pollinates its blueberry fields by over 100 million rented honeybees every year. And we rent them from Florida. They all come up, and then it's funny because you tell people you rent them, and they're like, well, how do you rent the honeybee?
Yeah.
So they come to Maine, and basically at the end of the pollinating season, the queen will call all the bees back into the hive, and then we ship them all back down to Florida and Georgia, down in that area.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. It's a lot
I'm
of fun
fascinated.
facts.
Yeah.
I know. I'd love for you to come up to Maine. We could go blueberry raking.
Yes. Oh my goodness. That is a dream. So I've always wanted to come to Maine because, side story, my grandparents are Canadian. And so they just live across the border from Vermont. And so Maine's like a hop, skip, and a jump away. It's like around the corner. So when travel is allowed, I might have to come make a visit because I'm fascinated by all of these fruit festivals.
We're going to have to get some lobster. I'll take you to... I don't go where the tourists go. I have my own private spots we can go where there's no tourists.
That's the trick. Okay, good. I've got an in.
And you can bring your own. You can bring your own drinks, which is awesome.
Excellent.
So anyway, so I won that title, and so I was going to events, and then it keeps freezing. I don't know what's going on. Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, and I can see you. You're good.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you not hear us?
It keeps glitching out. It keeps saying that you're loading.
Oh, no.
I can hear you.
I don't know. Okay, good. Well, as long as you're talking, that's really all that matters.
Hello?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Am I back? Hello?
Okay, so then I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Anyways, I was going to events all throughout the year, and then in January, Maine hosts a big agriculture banquet. And so this girl came in, and I saw her in a crowd, and I was like, I'm like, who's that girl? I was like, I've never met her. And she's like, well, I'm Carolyn Brady. I'm Miss Maine. And I was like, Miss Maine? And I was like, what is Miss Maine? And she's like, a part of Miss America organization. And so growing up with my grandparents, we really didn't watch like Miss America. I think maybe we watched it like once and that was it. So I was like, Miss America organization. I was like, that's still around. That's still a thing. And so she was just so, fun, outgoing. And so the funny thing was, is I had said something, and she said, "Oh, where's that?" And I was like, "You don't know where that is?" I was like, I was like, "You must not be from Maine." So Carolyn is from Pennsylvania, I believe.
Okay.
But because she went to college at Bowdoin, she is eligible to compete for the Miss America organization through Miss Maine. So I thought it was really cool, and I basically the way how we got talking, there was this store that we have here in Maine, which is called Martin's. And it has this little jingle with this cookie cutter lady, and she goes, I should have bought it when I saw it at Martin's. And so she's really funny because on the commercial, she's running around the store. Martin's is basically, I'd like to say it's like a flea market. They throw everything in the store, and it's you go and see if you can find it. And so she runs around the store, she picks things up. And so she was at the event, and she was the guest speaker for the night because everyone, I think her name is Lady Bird. I think that's her name. I can't remember, but she was the guest speaker. And so Carolyn went up on stage and said, let's go up, let's do something with her, let's sing the jingle, like let's make people get involved. And so all the girls there were like, I'm not getting up on that stage. And me, I hopped up and said, okay, let's go, I'm coming. So I got up on the stage and we did a jingle, and Carolyn and I, we danced and sang a song, and the Miss Maine team, Jane Lip, she was there as well, and so we all did that. I got photos of Carolyn. I got to speak with her about her experience, and I thought it was really cool. And she's like, you would make an amazing Miss Maine. And I was like, me? I was like, no. I was like, do you see how I look? I'm like, nobody's gonna want a Miss Maine that looks like this, because I'm a heftier kind of girl. And so I was like, okay. And so she had reached out to me on social media and said, I really want you to compete. I think you'd be amazing. And so for a long time, her and I had talked. I had stewed on it for a very, very long time. And then I had gone ahead and done a personal questions with over 100 women. And I had asked them, I said, hey, I said, if I was to compete for Miss Maine, what would you want me to stand up for? And what would you want me to fight for? What would you want me to bring awareness to? What is important to you? What has made you not do something in your life due to how you look, how you feel, what others have said? And so after interviewing the women, like example, we had one girl, one woman, she was in her late like 50s, 60s. She had said that her stepmom as a child had told her to take lipstick off because it made her look trashy, and that no man would ever love her. Um, by that way of like things that she had said, that made me just, I said, I've got to do this not only for myself but for others. Because I grew up in a small town. I know what it's like to not fit in, not have the right clothes, or just not feel like, things you do is just not enough. I grew up with my grandparents, and so anytime I'd see my dad always believed that a woman had to be a size 2, or else you weren't a real woman. And so I was always like called pork chop or fatty or stuff by him. And so, it kind of, speaking with these women, it really made me think about my childhood and how, the anger wasn't, it was with others, but a lot of time it was with myself because I felt like I wasn't enough. I didn't fit in. I wasn't that person people wanted to see. I had gone through a lot of ups and downs, and so by competing for Miss Maine and running with my social impact initiative, Acceptable Me, I came up with that because I was like, whoa, a social impact initiative. I said, I don't have no clue what that is. I did all types of research for months and months. And I said, you know what, I'm going to create my own. And so I came up with Acceptable Me because me is in Maine. I said, I need something that will be catchy that people can catch on to, but also stands for something else. And I said, let's call it Acceptable Me because I want to be accepted and I want others to be accepted. And that's where Acceptable Me, standing up for and breaking stereotypes together, came to be.
I have so much love for that. And first off, I love the symbiotic Acceptable Me, Maine. I just love that from a marketing standpoint. Phenomenal. The other thing that I really love is you did your research. You didn't just pick something that you thought was trendy, and you didn't pick something that only affected you. You went out into the community and you were like, how can I make the most impact? And what do people actually want? And so I practice something called design thinking. And it's, for if you haven't heard of it before, it's a system of problem solving. And it's 5 steps. It's super easy. You can apply it to just about anything. But the first step is always empathy. And that's going out and doing interviews and seeing what the pain points are so that you can create a solution that actually benefits people. And you did that. So I have so much love for that because it's one, I'm a little biased. It's an excellent system, but 2, it's also an incredible way to make an impact and to really be intentional with what you're doing and making moves that really do help other people. And it also helps yourself. If you don't mind me going on a little bit of an intrapersonal conversation, but a couple of different times you've said stuff like, who would want me as a Miss Maine? Or what would people think if I was Miss Maine? But you turned around your own personal hesitancies and you created something that sets you up to be a role model for someone you didn't get to have in Maine. To have all the younger little girls who look like you and me just look up and say, that's my Miss Maine. That's my Miss Knox County 2021 right now, before you potentially win. But that's my person I can look up to. She's wearing a crown. That means I can wear a crown. And it doesn't matter what I look like or what I sound like or how loud I am or what my talent is. You're setting the example. And I'm really holding back tears at this moment because it's just really impactful for me. And I love what you're doing so much. I don't even have the vocabulary for it. So thank you for what you're doing because I think it's phenomenal.
Yeah, I think it's it's nerve-wracking where you've never competed in anything like this. I just have a way with my words. I'm very good at talking with people, but a lot of the people that are competing, I know that they've competed for years. They have a lot more experience than I do. And so I feel like, having somebody that's not in my state that I can talk about ideas with, such as you, my newfound friend.
Yes.
It's just so helpful. And my talent, I know you and I had spoke about that. I am just so excited about my talent and
me too. I can't wait to see it.
The background sound that's going to be a part of that. I'm recording voices to go with that. And I can't wait for everyone to see. It's going to be so impactful, and I hope that it makes a difference, and I hope I'll be your new Miss Maine.
Oh, I love that so much. I love everything that you've been working on, and I think that's it. I don't know what you believe, and I don't want to presume, but I think that's why some of the pieces seem to be fitting together so well for you. being able to fundraise and finding the network and having those people who, you know, happen to be sticker makers or happen to be t-shirt companies, or, you know, when you're doing something that's truly like goodwill, I feel like at that point the doors just kind of start to open for you, even if they're not in your plan. Like t-shirts, you had no idea you were going to be a t-shirt designer, but then you got that super awesome hookup with the t-shirts, and now you're able to fundraise in a whole new way. So I love that, and I love the path that you're on, and I love that you're just absolutely open and willing to help support the organization, promote your personal impact initiative, social impact initiative, and the community, because that's really the heart of it, is you're doing something that really makes a difference. And I just love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's really all about building a community. I also have another thing I'm going to be working on, but I haven't like officially announced it.
Okay, I
So
won't pressure you to say anything yet.
no, I want to talk about
Okay.
it. I want to bring
Bet.
awareness to it.
Yes. Okay, good.
So I mean, it's not so much about acceptable me, but it's something very important to me that, you know, if I become Miss Maine, but also, you know, working up to that point, that I'm going to be bringing a lot of awareness to. So I come from a long line of fishermen and lobstermen. And so currently, you know, Maine is lobster capital of the world. So currently in Maine, where I grew up, which is in Knox County, it's very coastal, a lot of lobster, fishermen. That's what my family's about. Currently, there is a project that is supposed to be taking place that the governor is trying to get passed. I am going to be creating a petition to stand up against not having that take place. So I have not released this information yet, but I'm very excited. There is a company that's called New England Aqua Vitreous, and so what they are about creating. As much as I'm all for wind power, I don't think that wind power should be in the middle of the ocean disrupting our fishing, and the way of life. Maine, you know, my family, they survive off, you know, being a lobsterman or a fisherman. And so currently, right now, they are trying to build a floating windmill in the middle of the ocean. So wow. What they are going to be doing is they're going to be drilling basically a some type of pipeline that goes from an island in Maine all the way to the mainland to create this, basically this windmill to hopefully provide windmill power to the island. I believe in wind power, and I think that, you know, that's helpful and all, but it should be on land. It should not be in the middle of the ocean disrupting our fishing, the way of life, and different things like that. So last Sunday, my family and a bunch of other people, there was over 150 boats that attended, and they protested on the coast of Maine. And so they had big long lines protesting the coast of Maine to not have this windmill. And currently, I heard that they were trying to have one come to New Jersey as well, while doing my research. So, as competing for Miss Maine, and if I win Miss Maine, I also want to bring awareness that, you know, fishing and lobster industry is huge in the state of Maine. And, you know, as much as they're dealing with right now, because they're dealing a lot with people believing that they're endangering whales and wildlife in the ocean, which from a long line, I've done a lot of research and spoke with a lot of friends and family. You know, I just really want to stand and bring a positive notion, you know, that the lobster and the fisherman industry here in the state of Maine is very important. If anybody is interested in finding out more about this, they can look up the hashtag Save Maine Lobstermen. That will bring you to a sticker website, t-shirts, Same outlook. Those aren't not provided by me. Those go directly to the Lobstermen Association of Maine. That will tell you more about what's going on with the whales and New England aquavitrius. So I'm really hoping to start that petition and be able to present that to our governor, and hopefully shut it down. They tried to do this 10 years ago, and there was a petition created and it got voted on no. So hopefully, where it's been 10 more years, somebody like me in a social media presence can bring awareness to this, and hopefully everybody will support it.
Wow, I love that. I mean, I'm from Kansas, and we have wind farms everywhere, but we also don't have a coast. And so we have wind farms, and we're one of the windiest states. And so we provide, I think we're second in the nation for providing wind energy. And it's something that's a really big deal for Kansas. And I guess I've never thought about planting a wind turbine in the middle of the ocean, but I completely see what you're talking about. It would exponentially disrupt not only lobstermen's well-being, but also the ocean. Like,
Yeah, that is
I would
the
love to
number one.
do more research about that.
Yeah, that's the number one thing is the way how I've spoken with a lot of people about it. It's going to disrupt our currents. And the other thing is the lobstermen. We're like on my coast of where I grew up. It's large. We have so the way how it's set up is you have the mainland over here. Over here you have an island that's called Monhegan, and then you have Matinicus, you have North Haven, you have North Haven, you have South Haven, and then you have North Haven, you have Vinyl Haven, and then you have Alsboro, which is off a little bit. But the way how it is a lot of the fishermen that work in that area, if that was to be built, they can't fish within 500 miles of that wind turbine, is what the research says. So 500 miles, and that means you've got to go quite a ways out in the ocean to be able to get anything.
Right.
And so, where I grew up, I go to a local market with my grandparents. They make the best lobster rolls. And it's called the Gig Store. And it's like every day you see them bringing in lobsters. But if this takes place, you're going to see a shortage and a cut down on how many lobsters they can bring in. And in the state of Maine, we've already lost our shrimp season. We lost shrimp about, I want to say like 8 years ago. I don't remember the last time I've even had Maine shrimp. Maine shrimp was a huge thing growing up when I was a kid. We'd go somewhere and I'd be like, oh, I'm going to get the Maine shrimp. And because it's just the way how the shrimp is it's smaller, it's more delicate versus the Gulf of Maine shrimp or something like that, because it's a bigger shrimp. It's not as good as the baby Maine shrimps. And so we haven't had shrimp season for, I want to say like 6, 8 years.
Wow.
I think I might have been in the middle of high school when they were like, nope, we're not having shrimp season this year. Nope, we're not having shrimp season next year. And that went on, and it's continued that we have not had shrimp season. And so if this is to take place, is it's going to cut down on, hey, we don't have any haddock at the store. We don't have any salmon. We don't have any cod. We don't, lobsters will be cut down. I mean, lobster, bleh. Lobsters right now, I mean, they're quite pricey. If you go to the store, I mean, you're looking at $15 to $18 per pound, and that's just for a soft shell. So lobsters are soft shells and hard shells. And so the way how it is if you get them fresh off the boat, you can pay anywhere between $3.99 to $7.99 per pound, depending on who you know. Or you can be like me, you get them for free. So, I mean, it's really, it's just something that they're trying to do here, and I don't believe in it, and I think that as being a Miss Maine title holder, that I could really bring awareness to, the importance of backing up our Maine lobstermen and our Maine fishermen, because that's what, I want to say that's like 75% of what Maine is fishermen, lobstermen. A lot of people don't think about it like that way. I know, a lot of times out of state, people will go to like a Red Lobster or a Boston Lobster. Well, in the state of Maine, we don't have a Red Lobster and we don't have a Boston Lobster or whatever it's called. So,
Yeah.
we don't have one of those. Ours are real, authentic restaurants, such as in Portland, we have DeMillo's. They're very famous. If you go in there and you get a lobster dinner, I mean, you're looking at, $60 to $70 because you're getting a lobster, you're getting your corn. But that's for really tourists. They make quite a markup unless you know where to go. So I just want to stand up and bring awareness to acceptable me, but also like, the other aspects of me, because it can't all be about body positivity and body diversity. It has to be about being a title, bringing awareness to other aspects of Maine. Standing up and attending not only events that are about, wearing the crown or things like that, but attending events about, bringing awareness to something, showing how it's important and how you stand with somebody else to stand up for things and fight for things.
I love that. I love that so much because you really do bring up an excellent point. Being a title holder doesn't mean you just get to advocate for what you like all the time. And it's not just the you show, right? Like that's not what it's about at all. Yes, you do get a sparkly hat, a nice crown, a sash across your chest that says your state or your county. But the whole point is, what are you using that newfound microphone to do? What are you using this newfound platform to raise awareness for? And I love that you are focusing on something that's really important, not just generally. The economy is important generally, but especially now thinking about COVID and reopening and how is the economy going to bounce back from the year we just had, thinking about your state and the issues that affect your state, that in this case, they do affect you and your family, but there are going to be other issues that you never heard about before, but they affect your neighbors and they affect your friends. And Miss Maine is going to represent that, and Miss Maine's going to fight for what's right. And I love that you're already doing the job. I love it. I love it so much. Okay, so unfortunately, I cap out at 1 hour on Instagram Live, and we have about 8 minutes left before our hour is over. So
we
I want to ask you.
We can exit and come back on.
We could. We absolutely could. But I do want to ask for anyone who's still watching, if you want to drop a question for anything that Shannon and I have talked about so far, feel free to drop a question. But I want to ask you, what final thoughts have you had? What is something that you didn't get to talk about? Oh, Did I lose you? Oh, look, you got hearts on. I love that.
No.
I don't know what hold on, you're loading.
Oh, there we go.
I do.
Oh, can you hear me? Oh, you're frozen.
Okay. Yes. You were frozen too. I don't know what's happening with our internet. I think my roommates just got home.
Oh, you're still
Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Okay, good. So I think my roommates got home and are taking up the Wi-Fi, so I'm sorry about that. But I wanted to ask, is there anything we didn't get to talk about that you really wanted to share or highlight that you're like, I want to tell the world about this?
I think really just like the ending part, I haven't released that. I've been meaning to make a post for a few days, but it's kind of about how, kind of trying to introduce that aspect, because I think a lot of my posts have been about, on stories sharing about, body positivity, like something I shared last night was, it's not, going to the store and trying on clothes and they don't fit, you're not the problem. Just trying to share things like that because, deep down, those are my thoughts. I don't know about you, but I've gone to the store and completely just like cried. I'm like, these don't fit. And I'm like,
Absolutely.
What's going on? It's all about where you shop.
Right.
So,
That's so
I
true.
think really just like that ending part is really something I wanted to share because I'm just very passionate about it. I've been educating people all day at work. I'm like, hey, if I create this petition, will you sign? And they're like, what's it for? And I've told them, and they're like, well, why are they doing that? And I'm like, exactly, why are they doing that? I'm like, would you sign my petition? And they're like, yes, anything to support you and help you. And I was like, okay. And
Excellent.
so, really, I think, coming from just what kind of person I am, I feel like a lot of people, they just don't take me seriously sometimes. And I think it's because I'm a very sarcastic person, but at the same
Same.
time, I'm a very, very serious person. Now, nobody can tell if I'm serious or not. And so I think, a lot of people, when I've told them, like, I'm competing for Miss Maine, they're like, competing for Miss Maine? They're like, well, good luck with that. And I'm like, well, thank you for your support. I'm like, I don't know if that's like a genuine support or not. But I think really, if I was to win Miss Maine, really just throwing it in the face of people that thought I couldn't do it is just going to be the most successful feeling because, it's a lot of people that, did not support me growing up, made fun of me. They're like, oh, well, good luck at Miss Maine and stuff. Like, it's just all about knowing like who's really on your side and who's not. And really, by competing, if I was to win, that I could just really make my hometown in the great state of Maine just happy. Because, when I won Blueberry Queen, everyone was like, I don't know, my Facebook was blowing up for at least 4 to 5 days. And I couldn't believe it. Like, nobody had even known, like, this is right after I got crowned. I don't know how they knew. But all of a sudden, the newspaper had posted something and said, Hopkins takes home 2 titles because I was crowned Miss Congeniality and the Queen. And so all of a sudden I'm blowing up and everyone's just like, oh my word, like I knew you were gonna win. And it was just a for real serious moment for me that I was like, oh my word, I did it. And like right now, like I still can't even believe I won the Blueberry Queen. Everyone goes, oh yeah, you're the Blueberry Queen. And I'm like, I am? Like, if I win Miss Maine, I think I'm mostly going to be like, no, I'm not Miss Maine. Like, I can't believe I won. Like, I can't wait for this journey and just the friendships I've created, such as you. I know we hadn't really talked too much before, but I know I had been reaching out to you, and somehow my messages got lost. But I'm so glad that we reconnected,
Me
and
too.
that, I just have this newfound friendship, and maybe one day I'll get out to Kansas.
Yes, it's a very exciting place out here. I'll take you to all our hot spots and show you the town.
Awesome.
Well, I'm so glad we connected, and I'm so glad that everyone got to listen into your story and listen into your passion because I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I think you're already doing the job and you're already the knocking it out of the park when it comes to your advocacy, your passion, your community building, all the things that you're doing. Like, as far as I'm concerned, you've already won. Like, you've already made an incredible impact. And I'm
That's how
sure, I
you
mean, I
gotta
don't,
think about it.
right. Yeah, I'm sure, I guess I don't want to say I want to speak for your hometown, but I'm sure they're already proud of you and they're
Yeah.
already very impressed and absolutely thrilled. So someone did have a really good question that I want to ask. When is Miss Maine's competition?
So the competition is from the 16th to the 19th of June.
Of, okay.
So on June 19th, they will finally announce the crowning winning queen. And right now, I believe, including myself, I think there's 9 girls. We've had a few like online social media things that I haven't seen a lot of the girls participate in. But on June 25th, we do have, not June 25th, April 25th, we do have a in-person mandatory meeting. So hopefully those girls would come and everyone will be there, and then
Oh, yeah.
that will kind of more give me the exact number. But as of right now, according to our chats that we have, I believe there's 9 people, including myself. So a total of 9.
Well, cool. That'll be a good orientation workshop kind of thing to get everyone on the same page, and hopefully you'll find out a lot more information. I'm really hoping that they live stream the Miss Maine competition so that I can
I
watch
think
from
they
all the way here.
will. I think they're
Good.
going to. I'm sure they will.
Good. If they
I
don't,
think they
put in a
live
request for me.
I think they live streamed 2000 the 2019 one as well. So,
Okay, good. Good. Well, I
yeah.
will keep my eyes peeled. And everyone, if you would like to follow Shannon and her journey to Miss Maine, I pinned her Facebook page, Acceptable Me, one word, and I spelled it right this time. And then also Instagram at Shannon Hopkins Official, and that's how you can stay up to date on all the wonderful things Shannon is doing. Shannon, thank you so much for jumping on and chatting with me today. I always love talking to you and hearing about the ways you're just rocking the world. And it's just I'm so glad I got to share that with everyone who jumped in the live today.
Well, thank you everybody for tuning in, and hopefully, send me a message if you have any questions or want to talk about anything or any questions about anything, and hopefully we'll have another live stream for you guys again soon.
Yes, definitely. And don't forget to message her if you want a sticker.
Thank you.
Bye everyone.